Hey there, it's Brandon. You're watching Jozi to Germany.
Again.
So today I wanted to make a video about a kind of weird topic. It's kind of weird because not many people have addressed it in great detail, and there's a lot of misconceptions around this topic, which is homesickness. Sounds pretty straightforward, right? Most people are under the impression that if you get homesick, it's this overwhelming sadness that overtakes you and you are unable to function for the rest of the day or week or even month. Huh? Okay, so to get more into detail. Yeah, I have felt homesick since I've been here. It's perfectly normal. Most people tell you from the beginning that you definitely will feel homesick, and that's okay. All you need to do is kind of battle through it, force yourself to focus on something else, and you'll be fine. They were right. However, I think there's a little bit of a misconception about what exactly homesickness is and how you feel it, because to be honest, it's not the end of the world. Okay, so every now and again, So as I said earlier, most people see homesickness as the sort of thing that comes gradually, and once it's there, it doesn't go away and you just have to deal with the sadness, or I don't know, something ridiculous like that. In reality, homesickness is more of a thing of like,
Oh, I miss my mom. I can't do anything or function as a human being, and I haven't stepped out the house in 5 days.
now here's the realistic version of this.
Oh wow, I actually really miss mom today. Oh well.
Anyway, I think you get the point. So my whole thing here is just to explain to people that homesickness is not as bad as it seems, and it's something that you really can manage. It's pretty easy, right? This is coming from someone who was super scared of what it would be like, and I did not know how I would handle it before I came here, to be very honest. Now that I'm here, I can tell you that it's kind of just a thing that you deal with. Sometimes you get homesick, sometimes you don't. And the one thing that I can mention is that it's normally homesickness for people at certain times, right? Like, to be honest with you, I don't really miss South Africa. I just don't. I enjoy it here. I really do, and I'm having a great time. So what I do end up missing most of the time are people. I miss my girlfriend, I miss my mom sometimes, I miss my brother sometimes. And a lot of the time, it's just a sort of quick reminder of home. That's really all it is. Every now and again, you'll see something like, oh, that small child there reminds me of something my brother would do, or things like that. So it's really quite simple. Nowadays, it's easier than ever to deal with homesickness. Hashtag globalization. So a few other tips that I have for dealing with it if it gets really bad for someone out there watching this video is really just try and do something else. Like, I know this must be such a useless tip, because when I was researching this before I came here, I was like, oh my gosh, you guys are idiots. This doesn't help. It really does help, you know? And I think someone just needs to remind any future au pairs out there that, trust me, 95% of the time you will be too busy doing other things as an au pair to even really sit down and let yourself wallow in that despair for most of the time. So I promise you'll be fine. On another note, things that you could do to avoid homesickness are just take some time to yourself every now and again, By the way, I do not encourage lazy au pairs. If you are a lazy person, au pairing is definitely not for you. However, it can be good for you and for your personal well-being every now and again to just take a few moments to relax, or on your off day, don't be scared to stay at home and just do nothing. Something else you could do, you could write your family letters. Since I've gotten here to Germany, especially where the post service is just amazing, I've really been considering just sending some postcards home, which is something I've never done before. I've also taken to buying little souvenirs when I go to a new place. I'm carrying on my grandparents' tradition of buying a fridge magnet for every major city that I go to. So anyway, let me know in the comments below if you have any specific techniques or coping methods that you use to address homesickness if and when it comes up. Moving on. Now that we have established that homesickness really isn't so bad, I just want to address maybe some things that I do miss about South Africa that are not here, and some things that I will miss actually, I think, when I go back home. So, things that I'm really missing from South Africa right now, at least, are boerewors. The meat over here is really good, but it's just not boerewors. It's not that sort of thickness, juicy. Anyway, but I do enjoy the meats over here. Number 2, and again this is very ad-lib, I really miss my cider that I normally drink when I go out, which is Hunter's, or sometimes I drink Smirnoff Spin or Storm. Just because over here cider is not very popular, the closest thing they have to cider is in the state of Hessen. They have this local specialty called Apfelwein, which is, or the Ebelwoi, which is apple wine, but there's no set brands over here, and I really miss Hunter's. However, there are a lot of other alternatives. Number 3, my family, my girlfriend, and my friends. But to be very honest with you, I have not once found myself missing South Africa, like the place, you know? Yes, you always, miss people. Always, you'll miss people, sure. But not once have I found myself sitting here and going, wow, I really miss South Africa, especially with like the corrupt government and the ministers and just in general potholes in the roads and all that stuff. Things that I can definitely foresee myself missing in Germany when I leave. Number 1, public transport. No explanation needed. Number 2, I will miss Fleischkäse. It's one of my favorite little meats around here. It's just so good. Number 3, Abendbrot, which is the German word for evening bread. Basically, Abendbrot, or the Abendessen, which is dinner, it's the German way of eating dinner, which is that it's generally quite small and it usually consists of bread and some light cheeses and meats if you're actually hungry at all. Reason for this is just because I really enjoy how cheap it is over here to buy bread that does not come in a packet. And obviously I will miss my host family and host kids when I go back, so yeah. So, this was a cool video, finally back on track after the kids' 2-week-long Osterferien, which is the Easter holiday. So if you like this video, don't forget to leave me a like, comment, or if you're feeling generous, you could even send me $1 million. Just kidding, you could just subscribe. That would be cool, and you can hit the little bell there next to the subscribe button. It's a really cool bell. It like changes colors and stuff when you hit it, and then you'll get notifications when I upload my next video. Anyway, thanks for watching and auf Wiedersehen.